Good morning friends, welcome in this class. This video is for class 8 subject social science as we are studying about geography chapter 5 industries. It is the third lecture of this chapter and the topics to be discussed in today's lecture are first one development of iron and steel industries in India and next one Jamshedpur, Pittsburgh, Ahmedabad and Osaka. Means we will study about one main center of textile industry in India and one main center of textile industry in world and same about one main center of iron and steel industry in India and one main iron and steel center of the world. Okay, in India Jamshedpur is considered the main textile center. Okay, and Jamshedpur is considered as the iron and steel center and in the world Pittsburgh, okay, in USA that considered the main iron and steel center, Ahmedabad main textile center of India and Osaka main textile center of Japan. So let's start today's discussion. Yes friends, steel and iron industry in our country has developed a lot in the last couple of centuries. Okay, as we have studied in our history chapter or previous chapter that Indians were that skilled, okay, and they were perfect. They had the knowledge of making iron and steel, okay, and means they were skilled in iron smelting process and they manufactured good quality of weapons, tools like sword or many other are there. Okay, so iron and steel industry in our country in India that it developed in lot in the last couple of centuries, means it was famous in ancient time also. Okay, and it is all due to availability of cheap material, market, transport and raw materials in high numbers. Yes, as we have studied about the factors affecting location of any industries. Yes friends, as we know, to set up any industry we need that raw material in large amount, means that raw material must be available in enough amount, okay, and for that that cheap labor, transport system to sell the product market, also some other factors, okay, or other you can say inputs which we required in iron and steel industries. And if we talk about India, in India all these factors, all these you can say factors are available. That's why that iron and steel industries set up in India, okay, in ancient time also. And few of the important centers that produce steel in India are Rourkela, Durgapur, Bhilai, Bokaro, Jamshedpur and Burnpur. Okay, these are some main center of India, those who were famous or important for iron and steel producing center. Okay, yes friends. Next one is there. Now we will discuss about the main iron and steel center of India, Jamshedpur. Yes, Jamshedpur. Before our country got independence in 1947, we had only one steel plant, that is TISCO. The short form is there, TISCO. TISCO stand for Tata Iron and Steel Company Limited. Okay, so this was the first iron and steel company which was set up in India, and at that time it was private company, okay, and set by Tata Group. Okay, yes, once India got independence in 1947, the Indian government undertook several initiatives after which a number of iron and steel plants were set up. Okay, means after the independence 1947, when we got our independence, then Indian government that they made many efforts, they took many initiatives for the development of industries to set up iron and steel plants in India. Okay, So for that, TISCO started in 1907 at Sakchi near the that confluence of the river Subarnarekha and Kharkhai in Jharkhand. Later Sakchi was renamed as Jamshedpur. Yes friends, actually at the time where TISCO was set up, that place was Sakchi and it was in Jamshedpur. Now it is renamed as Jamshedpur and the TISCO was set up in 1907. Okay, so actually this place is about 240 kilometers away from Kolkata and it is the oldest and largest center of iron and steel industry in India, and that's why it is also known as Steel City. Jamshedpur is known as Steel City. The Steel City of Jamshedpur today ranks next only to Chandigarh in the quality of life index released of that ORG Mark Public Opinion Survey Group according to 2006. Now we will discuss about some that important feature of TISCO or iron and steel industry. Yes, okay. Actually, students, what is there? Iron and steel industry, as I told that this was the first iron and steel manufacture company, Tata Iron and Steel Company. And when it was set up in 1907. And it is located near the river Kharkhai and Subarnarekha. So which two rivers that which supplied or provided water to the TISCO? The two rivers that were Kharkhai and Subarnarekha. And the company has a huge market for its profit in India, China, Japan and Korea. As I told that it was near the Kolkata market. One of its plants is also that established in South Africa also. And Jamshedji Tata was the founder of TISCO. So you must know about it. Who founded TISCO in India? That name of that person, Jamshedji Tata. Okay, Jamshedji Tata was the founder of TISCO company and he is also known as that Iron Man of India. Okay, so you must know about it. And Jamshedpur provides the best location of the growth of iron and steel industry in many ways. Okay, now we will discuss about Pittsburgh. Actually, Pittsburgh, important steel city of the United States of America. Okay, and it enjoys locational advantages. Raw materials such as coal is available locally, while iron ore comes from the iron mines at Minnesota, about 1500 kilometers from the Pittsburgh. Okay, and that one of the you can say world's best routes for shipping or cheaply, and the famous Great Lake waterways lies between these mines and Pittsburgh. Okay, why that Pittsburgh is considered the main you can say important steel city of United States of America? Again the same thing is there beta, the factors which that affect the location of any place, location of the industry in any place are like raw material. So the raw material means iron and steel, this minerals is available in Pittsburgh in large amount, means in this local area. Okay, while iron comes from the iron mines and Minnesota about 1500 kilometers from the Pittsburgh. This is there. For the power, that coal is available in the Pittsburgh itself, and from where they get the raw material iron, they got this raw material from the Minnesota, that was the iron mine, and it was just 1500 kilometers Pittsburgh. Okay, and at mines connected to Pittsburgh were the world best route for shipping. Okay, waterways, that was the Great Lakes waterways which connect this Minnesota to Pittsburgh. So it was easy to import, okay, or to that bring this raw material in the Pittsburgh through this water route. Okay students, yes, next one is there the other you can say the advantages, locational advantages of Pittsburgh. Trains carry the ore from the Great Lakes to the Pittsburgh area, and that the rivers which provide water to Pittsburgh, these were Ohio and Monongahela, okay, Allegheny. These were the rivers which provide adequate amount of water to this Pittsburgh. And we have studied about Jamshedpur. In Jamshedpur, which were two rivers, Subarnarekha and Kharkhai. And in Pittsburgh, Ohio, that is Monongahela, okay, Monongahela and Allegheny. These were rivers which provide adequate water to this Pittsburgh. and finished steel is now market is also required to sell this product. So this finished steel is transported to the market by both land and water routes. Okay, Pittsburgh area has many factories that use steel as their raw materials to manufacture that railroad equipments, heavy machineries and rails. So understood? Okay, means there are many other industries which were set up in that Pittsburgh, and they got the raw materials from the iron and steel industries in Pittsburgh. Okay, students. So you must know about it. Okay, why? Or you can say that explain the locational advantages of Pittsburgh. So first you will tell that in industry, I told you the raw material which is required first for the power, coal is required, raw material is required, market is required, transport is required, and water. These are some main factors which are necessary to set up an industry. So when we talk about the power generation source, so coal is available in Pittsburgh in the local market. Second one is raw material iron. It was available in the Minnesota, okay, iron mines, okay, and transport which was connected best waterways and rivers also were there, that was Ohio, Monongahela, Allegheny, which provides enough amount of water, and that steel, finished steel is transported to the market by both land and waterways. So all these things are available, were available in the Pittsburgh, that it was considered the main steel center of America. Okay, friends, now we will discuss about cotton textile industry. Okay, the word textile is derived from the Latin word texere, which means weave or weaving. So the woven clothes fabric was first used by the people of Harappan civilization in India about 5,000 years ago. In our previous lecture, I told that textile industries is the oldest industries, and Indians were the first who were expert in cloth making. Okay, different types of natural and man-made fibers are used to weave the clothes. Okay, cotton, wool, silk, jute, flax used for making clothes. Textile industries is divided on the basis of raw materials used. First one is the natural fiber obtained from the wool and silk. Means these are the example of natural fiber. Sometimes this question is asked, name the give the example of natural fiber. So these were wool, silk, cotton, linen and jute. Now artificials or man-made. These are known as artificial fibers also. Nylon, polyester, okay, acrylic and rayon are the, you can say, one of the oldest industries in the world. Got it, students? Okay, so now we will discuss about these industries like muslin of Dhaka, chintz of Machilipatnam, calicos of Calicut and gold wrought cotton of that Burhanpur, Surat, Vadodara were known worldwide for their quality and design. Okay, means manufactured. So beta, I told you that in history chapter also that these were some varieties of Indian clothes which were famous in the world market, like muslin of Dhaka, chintz of Machilipatnam, calico of Calicut and gold wrought cotton or Burhanpur, Surat, Vadodara. They were also the famous center for textile. Next one is traditional cotton textile industries was unable to face the competition from the new textile mills of the West that produced cheap and good quality fabrics through mechanized industrial unit. Actually, what was the, as we have studied that Indian textile industries declined, and actually the one main reason was there that in India cloth was prepared with handloom, okay, so it was very expensive, but due to the industrial evolution, when in Britain or England that cloth was prepared with the help of machine, and the machine prepared cloth, that it was very cheap, or you can say good quality also. That's why the Indian textile industries couldn't compete with this, and in the late 19th centuries that they declined. Okay, yes, first successful mechanized textile mill was established in Mumbai in 1854. We have studied that in India the first cotton mill was set up in 1854 in Mumbai. Okay, now we will study about climatic condition. Okay, which condition is required for cotton textile? Okay, The warm, moist climate, a port of importing machinery, availability of raw materials, skilled labor led to rapid expansion of the industries in the region. Industry flourished in the state of Maharashtra and Gujarat initially because of favorable humid climate. Yes, as we have studied that most of the textile industries were set up in Maharashtra and Gujarat. So what were the reason? As we know, for weaving clothes, warm and moist climate is required. Okay, black soil is required for the growth of cotton. So all these things like in Maharashtra, Mumbai, Gujarat, that climate is suitable for weaving clothes, and there is raw material is also available easily. Skilled labor is also there. That's why most of the textile industries are found in Maharashtra and Gujarat. But today, humidity can be created artificials. Other important centers are that Coimbatore, Kanpur, Chennai, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Kolkata, Ludhiana, Pondicherry and Panipat. As we see that now that textile industries we find most of the places in India. Actually this time new technologies are there. Okay, advanced technologies are there. So now the artificial humidity can be created. That's why that now the textile industries are found in every part of our country. Next, now we will discuss about Ahmedabad. That is considered the main, you can say, textile industry system region of India. Okay, and for that it is located in Gujarat on the bank of the Sabarmati river, and first mill established in 1859. So if you talk about India, that in 1854 Mumbai, and if you talk about Ahmedabad, so Ahmedabad first cotton mill was set up in 1859. Second largest textile city of India, that following Mumbai, referred to as Manchester of India. Okay, and situated very close to cotton growing area, ensures easy availability of raw materials, ideal climate for spinning and weaving clothes. Okay, flat terrain and easy availability of that land, and provide both skilled and semi-skilled labor. Well developed road and railway network. Again the same things is there. For set up any industry we need raw materials, skilled labor, market, transport system, and all these things were available in Ahmedabad. That's why it is the main, you can see, textile center of India. Next one is there Osaka. Now we will discuss about the Osaka. Actually Osaka is the place, you can say, in Japan. Okay, it was also, you can say, at that time it was also considered the main textile center. Okay, and for that an important textile center of Japan, also known as the Manchester of Japan. This is there, and which is known as Manchester of India, Ahmedabad, which is known as Manchester of Japan, Osaka. Extensive plain around Osaka ensured that land was easily available for the growth of cotton mills. Okay, and warm humid climate is well suited to spinning and weaving. This is there, and river Yodo provides sufficient water for the mills, and labor is also easily available. Again the same factors which we need to set up and textile industries. So all these things were available in Osaka. Okay, so what factors? First, like neutral humid climate is suitable for textile. Osaka is one of the busiest port of the world that earn in importing raw material, coal, water and other required power resources are available in this area. High skilled and unskilled labor is available in Japan. Osaka takes advantages of large external market of Asian and African countries. Okay, that's why it is considered the main important textile center. Okay, so the textile industries at Osaka depends completely upon imported raw materials. Cotton is imported from Egypt, India, China and that USA. Okay, and the finished product is mostly exported and has a good market due to good quality and low price. This is there. Okay, and despite it being an important textile city in the country, of late the cotton textile industry of Osaka has been replaced by other industries. Earlier it was the main important center, but later on that many other industries took place, okay, in Osaka. Now Osaka has been replaced by other industries such as iron and steel, machinery, shipbuilding, automobiles, electrical equipment and cement also. Okay, students. Now, in this way, our this chapter is completed. So, we have studied about the four places: Ahmedabad, main textile center of India. Okay, and that Osaka, main textile center of Japan. Okay, Pittsburgh, main iron and steel center of USA, and Jamshedpur, main iron and steel center of India. Now, related to this today's discussion, now I am giving you some question answer in homework. You have to write the answer of this question in your fair notebook. Yes, question number 1. Why was Sakchi chosen to set up the steel plant by TISCO? What were the that locational advantages which that supported to Sakchi chosen as a main iron and steel plant? Why TISCO was set up in Sakchi? Second question, what are the factors responsible for the growth of iron and steel industry in Pittsburgh? Next one, discuss the Bhopal disasters. In yesterday topic, I told you about that industrial disaster in which I have given the example of Bhopal. One tragedy occurred in Bhopal on 2nd December. Okay, so you have to describe about it. Question number 4. What are the inputs, processes and outputs of the textile industry? So these 4 questions are there and you have to write the answer of these questions in your fair notebook. Now homework solution. Describe the major industrial regions of the world and mention any 3 industrial regions in India. Major industrial regions of the world are Eastern, North America, Western and Central Europe, Eastern Europe and Eastern Asia. And if we talk about India, in India, that India has several industrial regions like Mumbai, Pune cluster, Bengaluru, Tamil Nadu region, Hooghly region, okay, Ahmedabad, Baroda region, Chota Nagpur industrial belt, Visakhapatnam contour belt, Gurgaon, Delhi, Meerut region and the Kollam, Thiruvananthapuram industrial cluster. Our next question is there. Question number 2, that what are the inputs, process and output of the iron and steel industry? Yes, friends. The input for the industry include raw materials such as iron ore, coal, limestone, along with labor, capital, site and other infrastructure. The process of converting iron ore into steel involves many stages. So the raw material is put into the blast furnace where it undergoes smelting. Then it is refined. The output obtained is steel, which may be used by other industries as raw material. Now question number 3, explain classification of industries on the basis of ownership. So on the basis of ownership, 3 types of industries are there. We have studied private, public, 4 types, joint sector and cooperative. Private, which are owned and operated by individual. Public, which are run or operated by government. An example of public, Hindustan Aeronautic Limited. Joint sector are owned and operated by state and individual or a group of individual. Example of joint sector, Maruti Udhog. Cooperative are owned and operated by the producer or supplier of raw materials, worker or both. Means all that work together, cooperate to each other. And the example of Amul, Anand Milk Union Limited or Sudha Dairy. Now our next question, differentiate between small scale and large scale. Yes, first, most of the work is done by manpower, small machine and tool. These are the examples of small scale. These industries employ less capital. Silk weaving, food processing industries are small scale. Work is done mostly on the larger machine, labors, and these industries employ more capital. Production of automobile, big machines, heavy machines. These are the example of large scale industries. Okay, friends. So, in this way, our today's lecture is completed. Tomorrow we will meet again with the summary of this chapter. Thank you so much.